Hello friend and welcome back once again to Grigsby's War in the East. We're here in the 49th turn, May 24th, 1942. And let's go for the events. Axis ground success, Soviet partisans, we already had those. All of North America. On May 14th, 1942, the Mexican tanker Potrero del Llano is sunk by U-562. The tanker was sailing unescorted from Tampico to New York City with 6,132 tons of petroleum. She was sighted by U-564 while east of the coast of U.S. Florida. The German commander noticed an illuminated flag painted on the side of the ship, but misidentified it as the Italian flag. Since only ships of the Mexican Navy were permitted to display the Mexican flag with the eagle in the center, the flag shown by the Potrero del Llano resembled the Italian one. Having decided the tanker's position and course meant that she could not be Italian, U-564 sank her with the loss of 13 of her crew. Up to this point, Mexico had remained neutral. On May 21st, the Mexican Foreign Office reported that Germany refused to accept Mexico's protest against sinking of the tanker. The following day, the Mexican government announced its first ever declaration of war. All of North America is now involved in the fight against the Axis powers. Okay. What I've done off screen is, as usual, all the support units which are at 85 or 90% depending on the support units. TOE, I have put them onto refit or into ready mode if they are above. Besides that, I've taken care of all the other fronts, so we have these numbers for all of them. I've also put all the units which are above 85 and or 90% TOE from here, with the exception of this anti-tank regiment, because it was in the middle of all 50s apparently. I've taken all of them from here onto the map, or the other way around. If my support unit was below 60 TOE, I've sent it either to Stavka or from Stavka to the Soviet reserves. That is what I've done so far. Let's take a look at the attacks. My opponent is pushing back now. He has retaken Torpets, where I had only one rifle division. Tricky that. It seems like he has no things down there, but this would still be a pretty crazy battle slash movement. Okay. This attack has been halted, although I did take a lot more casualties than my opponent. Still, that is nice, but then here he beat me. Pushed me back, and I lost 5,500. He didn't even lose 500. That's really sucky. I really need to reorganize that too. And bunch of recon. Interesting he would do that there. I wouldn't actually expect him to attack in this area, but we'll see. Of course, he's doing a bunch of stuff here. All these supplies. The interesting thing is that because I do have fighters here now, we constantly get these small battles with him losing some Junkers at least. Which is good, because I would like to have him lose those. Oh no, I think that's great. Apparently he doesn't mind losing them. Well, that's fine. And he actually attacked here. Trying to attack across the river. I wonder why he did that attack. He lost heavily for it. 6 infantry divisions, or well, almost 6 infantry divisions. with some Ju-88s to bomb, huh? Still, that's something, all right. It's one of the first times when the Germans take a lot more hits than we do. Did lower those fortifications, but it doesn't even say anything about a halt range. Guess they didn't come close. Just trying to cross the river, I guess. Okay. Fair enough. The thing, though, that I want to do, and I want to actually go and first go to Recon Air Directive for the Moscow Air Command. And I want them actually to fly multiple days. That's not exactly what I want. More something like this. If I can make the area 3, that's probably perfect. I'm actually gonna fly 5 days, a lot. I'll just have them request some fighters. Oh. Partial escort, yes, as well. Okay, and confirm. And I don't know if I have the Southwestern Air Command. They can stop because I'm not gonna attack there. The ground support will be done by Northwestern Air Command here. This is about Moscow Air Command. They only have 20 bombers. So let's start with Northwestern. They are going to give it to the Northwestern Front. And I'm actually going to do that with all of these here. Wherever they can. And run that. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit more about the enemy. I'll get a bunch of losses. Okay. Interesting, because he did put also stuff behind that. Now, an interesting question here. Yeah, wow. It seems to be a lot of units, actually. Makes me wonder how feasible this attack is going to be right now. I really... He has now 3 units there. And he's moving units from here over to that side. So the one thing that I think would be pretty interesting to find out, in a sense, you have 42, 35, 25, 15. You're just never going to be able to get all the way there. Not quite sure what the historical capture date is too. Here, for example, February, March, and January. They even got all the way up here. Basically like that. And then in a sense kind of held on. Of course, I don't have the strength in other areas to break my opponent. Like stuff like this, it's not nearly enough, and the potentially weak link here would be this one part. For example, I could try to, for example, beat that. That's a full infantry. These are also parts. You'd be able to cover it up. Yeah. Okay. Hope. Can I do that? Yes, thank you. Alright, let's take a look from Leningrad. So generally any somewhat weakened units will have to be swapped and gotten behind the front for refitting, and I do tend to do that pretty quickly. But we also take quite a bit of attrition losses generally, so why do I keep doing right clicks? You can be on ready. You're on ready. Besides that, nothing else gonna change there. Right here, I have you ready. Did you even get units? I guess you did. Some at least. Better than nothing, I think, but let's get the 179th out, and I guess these out. Let's just put you in the Luga Operational Army and both of these straight up under the Northwestern Front while they're refitting. While there. Fortification 1? Ah, well, I guess I took that 1 hex in the winter. That's right. This 82nd Infantry is rather powerful. But I don't expect anything to happen there. Alright. Given I really wonder what my opponent has there, so they're obviously getting supplies through there, and he has now occupied the main road quite heavily. But the good thing is it has made the front line a lot longer. And it means my opponent will be more thinned out. If we look at these, this is all 28th Army here, but then there are also some here. Let's put you under the 28th Army. You under the 28th Army. So, and then we'll put all of these under the 28th Army too. Just like that. Now, some of these other units will be under something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a total of 12. I could even do 1 less. Over here. We have 4th Reserve Army. Now moving in. And I'm actually going to attack here as well. Not going to put these motorized brigades, nor will I put the tank brigade. Basically, I'll just attack raw. What general do you have? Ilya Smirnov? Nope. Push them back. At the very least, that cuts their... Like, I know I took 14-1 losses here. But it did demolish their fortifications. Technically, I could get a tank corps in there. Which is pretty funny. I don't think here I might be so lucky. I could, however, try to beef them up even more and have tank corps in reserve. Pushing them down, potentially. Attacking this point would also be difficult because it's a... it's across a river. Just for fun, I could put 2 tank corps in there. See what he does. Not quite sure how useful that will be. Even here, this one thing is 8,600 men. That must mean that the 102nd Infantry Division, in a certain sense, I mean, there's 2 flag battalions. Fair enough. But they're motorized. I would say then it would still be around 7,000, putting the total unit number to 21,000. Like, that's a lot. Now, I have to say, I most certainly want to attack this. Now, with the 28th Army supposedly overburdened, I will most definitely need to reorganize this first here. First Shock Army. $16. So there will be First Shock. First Shock. Just like that. They would have stuff there. Let's also give you guys the First Shock Army, because they're going to give up one of those. Then, on its flanks here, I will have 47th Army. Actually need you out, you out, most likely these guys out as well. Do we have a fresh 27th Army here? A good idea to use units like that. I actually think what I'm gonna do here is do this. And then you there. So now the 10th reserve, and we have a 6th reserve here somewhere too. Here. Problem is both 6th Reserve and 10th Reserve are completely full, so the problem here is that I have a 28th Army which is completely overburdened. Me not having any additional forces there. So you need to switch and get a few units around here. Or get a 49th Army. Vasily Gordov shouldn't be that bad, actually. So all these under the 49th. So I can actually attack with everything but the cavalry corps. Again, pushing them back here. The thing about that is that I also feel like I want to protect myself by making this a bit bigger. So what does he have here? 3 parts of individual infantry divisions, different ones. I'm not gonna attack into this because this is actually a full infantry division here. But interesting thing is that the cavalry can go here, which is quite far. And basically, I do want to push back the infantry division, which is here now. I will need powerful units for it. Because I do want to have at least 3 tiles worth as well. Just like that. These 3 infantry divisions are quite difficult to beat like that. So again, I will have my weaker units just move forward. And basically you in, you and you. And that's it. It is unfortunate that all of these units are from different units. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, I'll push them back again. They got a 101st Light Division, but that is maybe the unit up there. Now, my main problem is that I don't think I can get through here. What that means is effectively I want to get this cavalry corps Try to get it to move through. Will I get to a rail line? Is there any chance? At this stage, it doesn't look like it's going to be very likely. Yes, unfortunately my opponent has gotten units through quickly enough. He also still has these armored reserves. Okay. Basically, I only have a 2-to-1 advantage here. And what I'm gonna do is get these in reserve. Are you under staff count? No, you're not. And also just try to get these in reserve there. No. Did get the entrenchments to 2, but didn't even come close to having double. Really sucks that I also didn't get these guys in. Yeah, I don't think so. I'll just pull them back. They might even attack them and push them back afterwards. I do. Want to also take a look. Is the rail line already fixed there? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, obviously I'm not fixing the rail all the way to Torpets, but I did want to do that in order to create a depot at Andreapol. It's not Torpets? Oh, it is Torpets. Well, as it is, I would say this limited offensive is quite over. And I don't want to venture in too far because, yeah. Ultimately, we can already see that he's bringing enough armor to deal with it. Next one will be May 31st, so I can still not make any core. Right, I'm taking a little break here. I'll be back. I think the last thing that I might want to do here is try this. Probably doesn't work though, but let's just see. Oh, I did. Great. Not any great losses on either side, but it allows me to have more of a spread here. Basically, the wider this breach, the better. And also this is a light wood tech, this is heavy woods, which makes it easier for me to defend. It makes it more likely that, well, he will have to abandon this hex too. He might just try to go back to that. At the same time, I'm trying to just defend this area. I'm not interested necessarily in doing too much crazy. Yeah. No other obvious or potentially obvious attacks here. Actually, yeah. There's also still rain here. So obviously no attacks down here. There's mud, light mud everywhere too. Doing much to bolster my defenses for now. I could try to counterattack. It'd be pretty funny. But again, this is across the river. It's not a good idea. I'll just fortify this and try to maintain that position as it is. Yeah. Alright, I'll be back later. Alright, back. Let's continue for a bit here in the south. After all that stuff from up north there. 7th Reserve Army, huh? 66, I could take 15, 16.82. It's a bit too much. Why do we have 3 different armies here? So this is fine, and I kind of still want them to do stuff like this. Then we have the 9th Army. Again, I'll just be switching stuff up here so that things look a bit better. Because we have here 6, this is 12, and then this entire stack should just be 18. Oh. Okay, where do we have 12th Army now? Here, that's fine then. The attack was there. I'm gonna take these 2 out for some resting and refitting, just in case the attack's there again. Getting these 2 motorized. Even though they're not at full strength or anything. These guys, though, they need to refit. Alright, so second shock can still take 2 more units. The only thing here is that this 3rd Guards is not doing so well, so I'm gonna put them under 5th Reserve Army. Or not, because they just switched. Okay. There's a depot here. You're under 5th Army. Let's just move you in here. They're not super likely to attack there, but I do need some sense out of this. Second shock, okay. Let's just do that and then have you under 5th Army. So yeah, they should also stay here. Okay. Second Reserve Army is here, that's fine. 5th Reserve Army is here, that's fine. 8th Reserve Army could still take one more unit. What I can then do, which may be a little bit weird, but let's move you here. Put you under 2nd Reserve Army. Now they are small enough to be put under the Crimean front. Next, I now also have 2 more fronts, which is very weird. We have North Caucasus front under Ivan Konyev. Interesting, that's Ivan Konyev there. And then we have the Trans-Caucasus front under Dmitry Kozlov, which isn't half as good. Let's start with this here, Northern Caucasus front. And move it to Zaporozhye. Take it off. And I'll put the reserve fronts under it. So, because we're not fighting in the Caucasus, obviously, and we are most likely not going to fight in the Caucasus, the names are a bit weird. But that's okay. It is a butt ugly color, though. Sure. And it seems like most of these forts are already gone from earlier. Okay, well that's that. Could have just as well put this 7th Reserve Army on the North Caucasus front, but we can do a bit later too. They shouldn't be on a refit, so I do want to make sure they're okay, but after that, you know, seems like they're gonna be fine. I was busy with Southern Front this time. I also need to, you know, get out somewhat weakened units. Refit the rest. Quite a few of these are also doing poorly, so. Even now, I'm kind of still recovering from all those counterattacks. Damn. But I know a 2-on-1 doesn't help, and attacking into all this armor also doesn't work anyhow. One of the things that I'm rather interested in doing is get my guards units to the back, actually. Given that I think that he's going to make a push, I actually feel a bit more comfortable trying to switch these around. So these are all for the 44th Army. Because I do think these guys will face the brunt of the attacks. so you will all go into 44th. And then units for 5th Reserve, they will go back here. And you too. Because, to be completely honest, I'd rather not have my my guards units encircled. So, for example, in this case too, they're under 18th Army. Let's get you out. Under the 18th Army. Further up north, it's kind of fine because I don't think I'm going to get attacked there. But I do think it's certainly a thing here. Also on the 44th. And you. Just like that. The 5th Reserve Army can take 2 more units. And let's put you into the 6th Army. A few here. You then can be put under the 8th Reserve. Further to the back. Okay. I think they're less likely to be able to encircle the ones down here. But it's still something to take into consideration. So for example, these under the 2nd Reserve Army. This is 2nd shock. Okay. Where are you from? From this 3X. Okay. 2nd Reserve Army. And you should be under 2nd shock. Going in here, and then you go here. Still have the 27th Guards. From Bashtanka. Second shock army, huh? Still just doing that, and then I will have to switch these guys up next next turn. But again, I'd rather have my guards units at least to the rear at the start, and they're fine down there. Guards mounted division. Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, so these guys from 6th Army, we put them into the 8th Reserve, and you'll be put under 6th Army. Over there. Still wonder if they're going to attack up here too. I have 2 guards units in here, 40th Army both. 3rd Army, Southwestern Front. Well, let's start here. 3rd Army. Oh, you can refit actually into Kremenchuk here. And then I wanted you to get onto the 40th. You should be on a refit because you're at 88, and you're even worse at 70. Let's put you on their Southwestern Front. Over Kremenchuk as well, also for refitting. You'll be put under 40th Army. Move you in here. I still have the 157th. To swap there. That's the south. Also do this. Get them to the back a little bit at least. Even now, 20, that's fine. We'll have the cavalry as a reserve there. And that's the Southwestern Front. I'm probably better off switching these 2 units again for... My opponent is much less likely to attack even in here. I don't see my opponent trying to make a push here actually, even with those armor divisions. I find it very interesting he has them there. Well, if there is going to be a summer campaign, he might try to push towards Kharkov and towards the Donbass. Maybe. Right, I'm gonna go to the central front here. All taken care of, they're all fine. Down again to a 10, that's nice. You're on reserve, that's all great. I think actually, oh no, 59th is not full. And what do I have here? 4th shock. This one will be 1, but it will be a 2 on the next turn, so I'm not too worried about those. Okay, further to Bryansk. Arguably my weakest front. But things are fine there. As well, so I will also not be worrying there. I also don't expect an attack out here. But I will go and switch up those two. And take a look further along the line. Actually gonna refit one of these. And one of these. Those guys are gonna be fine too. Alright. Basically, at this point, There are just two things kind of left for me to do, which is the Kalinin front and the southwestern front on this attack here. Yeah. I do find it interesting to see what will happen here. I think it's an interesting preemptive attack. I cannot imagine my opponent having so many extra units there. But I cannot see. I could try to get a cavalry corps through. But I would have to see then. Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll be right back. Alright, back, and while off screen I took care of the support units, and that means that, okay, your staff cast now here, not OKH. Now, basically, all I've left is up here. I still have a bit of a throat problem, which is mighty unfortunate. I would need to get you out though, because this cavalry corps is down quite a bit. Let's put you on their 33rd Army, you on their 11th Army, and get you into Borodino. All right. Now, most of my units here seem to be fine. Close to fine. The thing is that currently I have here the southern front, but I want those guys to be part of North Caucasian. 3rd Army should be part of Southern Front. And the 4th Shock Army will be part of Southwestern Front. These guys will be part of Central Front. And then 8th Army will be part of Bryansk Front. 11th Army will be part of Western Front. And then 1st Shock Army will be part of Kalinin Front. And with that, the Northwestern Front has space for a total of 23. And now of 5. The Kalinin Front also can only take 5. The funny thing is I have this here Trans-Caucasus Front. Which I could technically also put in. And I guess what I'll do is I'll get them out here, and those empty ones I'll put those on the Trans-Caucasus Front. It makes no sense, but because this is not the Trans-Caucasus, but it's better than nothing, so I might just well put them under that. And it does mean they'll have a bit more chance to actually finish their roles here. Now, we'll see what the Trans-Caucasus Front turns into. I can actually take a look at name changes. Trans-Caucasus Front. Will it just get disbanded? It could. Yeah, I don't see it. It might just get disbanded. Doesn't even say so. Does not, but I guess we'll see. Maybe it doesn't get a name change. It'll just always be called Trans-Caucasus Front. Okay. At this moment, I kind of need reinforcements, I guess, in terms of infantry. And what I have here currently is these guys are overburdened. So I should try to put something from 1st Shock under the 27th Army. Now, currently, those should all refit, but I should be getting fresh units in there. Surprised this 6th Infantry Division has a strength of 25, supposedly. And I'm sure he's trying to cut me off. why these guys cannot get any support units here. Can get support units on them. Right, the one unit that I really want to move forward is 12th Cavalry. And reason why I want to do that is because I want to cut this rail line. And I'm willing to give up a cavalry corps to try and do that. Whether that's here or here, doesn't matter. The thing is, he very likely doesn't have this rail line, so if I cut it at Smolensk, that will be it. Even more interesting. Is this. I'll actually remove demotorized brigades. These guys will very likely get cut off and will get destroyed. But I like this stuff on a tank corps a lot less than on some cavalry. The thing is, they'd get very close. I wonder if they could get in here. Well, one thing I certainly need to do here is get the 266th for refitting. And I cannot attack here because technically my opponent has a full infantry division there in heavy woods or light woods. Oh. Well, I'll start with putting these under the 27th Army here. And these two should just stay on the reserve there, I think. I have a rail yard, but it's only level 1. They also only have a level 1 rail yard. And Drapol probably also only level 1 rail yard. Basically, I want to have a fallback line for these units, and I don't necessarily need to cut them off down here already. But yeah, I do not have many more forces to deal with this, so basically I can get 2 tank corps over to Pino, but to be completely honest, I'm not so sure whether I want to send an entire army in there. Like, I can send these guys up as well over here. That's all well and fine. But this is getting quite dangerous, and these units are very close to being cut off. I'd rather just have some form of, you know, smaller inclusion here, forcing him to have more forces in this tiny area, and then stop attacking at this stage. He seems to have gotten a lot of reinforcements into this area, and I'm not ready to lose everything here. But having 1 cavalry do a breakthrough, I guess, would be pretty good. I'll have these guys to stem the tide here, but I always have this fallback line, although I'm not quite sure whether that's ultimately where it's gonna be at. My opponent is putting, you know, significant resources into trying to attack here, so and even though he's not losing all that much from this, we'll see how these things go. If some of these tank corps are ready, like on 41st Army, which is not that big. Kind of want to send all of these over to this southern area already. To exploit potential breakthrough, but I would have to get to Tula. Let's just get this into Kaluga, I'll be fine. Tula, I guess from here is the only area where they can get off with this amount. And then I'll just have one of these tank corps move. And he probably cannot get off, but that's okay. I do have a total of 6 infantry divisions here. Let's send these 3 up in here. And let's see if I can get these tank corps. Yeah, they're not even ready yet. Never mind. Alright. That would be it for this turn. Not a lot of progress or anything, but we're getting to May 31st. And the next one. Which is okay. Taking this here singular hex, even if I do succeed, is not going to get me anything. Except that I can rail my units a bit further, but I'm gonna get counterattacked again anyway. Yeah. That's not useful at this stage. The only thing they can actually get to is Stavka. Well, he does have armor there at Olenino and also near Vyazma. Wonder if he's gonna write it down. I guess he could. The weather in all these areas is pretty much just clear, so I wonder if he's indeed gonna drive there and attack. But I certainly won't be going that way, but I'll try to cut it off here. It's a bit further. But I'm more likely to have success, whereas I think my chance of success here are slim to none. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.